Hey, Skoda. Sorry if you said hi a while ago. I was in the zone. Finished shading. Doing the bases on the termagants. It's really faint, but I did a really dark green coat on top of the black sand that I glued on. Well, I was gonna end, but I'll hang out a little bit and continue working on the bases, the dry brushing that I'm at. So we just put a layer of Caliban green down on top of the sand, like grass looking. We've got an assortment of greens. Gonna do a layer of Wa flesh next. Build that really dark Caliban green up. It's a little too big. How's your day going, Skoto? What's Phasmo? I'm not familiar with that. Oh. What kind of a game is it? Like online kind of thing, or like a computer game? Ah, okay. Cool, cool, cool. So it's like a Ghostbuster game that doesn't use the name because they don't want to get sued, and they didn't do a licensing agreement. Oh, okay. Not as cool, Ghostbuster. Just kidding. It's going good. I mean, batch painting is what it is. But I'm pretty pleased so far. I was laughing earlier because I'm just going by the guide that the Citadel app has for Hive Fleet Termagants. And what I found was funny is in the shade step, it has me use this Reichland Fleshade shade. And it makes them like really dark, almost brown. And it looks totally different than the photo that they have for the figure. And then if you go in and look at the other Hive Fleet figures that I was checking out, it doesn't have you use that shade. So it's like, I just think it's funny that they're not consistent in the colors that they have you use across their different Hive Fleet like guides. But I kind of like the darker look. So we'll see how it turns out at the end when the highlights are done. This basing is the last step for what is described as battle ready, before moving on to the highlights to make them parade ready. While I'm enjoying painting these, I'm excited to be done with them because I really want to get to painting my custom Space Marine chapter again. Which I haven't painted in like a decade. I prefer single models because I can just focus on that one model and like all the details, while batch painting is like, okay, all these steps through these and then all these steps through these, and then I like notice as I'm going back through on a step, oh, I missed that spot. It's just kind of frustrating, I guess. I wouldn't say that I dislike batch painting, I just prefer single models. Yeah, that is what I kind of like about batch painting. It's like, go through, okay, now move on to the next one while that one dries. After I'm done with this raw flesh green basing, I'm going to call it a night. And I've got 5 to go after this guy. The color scheme it's similar to Ultramarines, but instead of just all blue, they have red shoulder pads and gray trim instead of like their Ultramarine gold. I should have one. Give me a sec. You look through my old figures from when I'd started the army. Here's one. I started this army back in like 2005, I want to say. 6? Yeah, around 2006 or so. 2007. Their insignia is a fleur-de-lis. Inside of like a 8-pointed star. Thanks. This is a sergeant that I painted a long time ago. Got a little bit of battle damage, some bullet holes in his shoulder pad and stuff. Like when I was getting back into it initially, I was like, yeah, I get to keep building my Space Marine army. And then that's when I learned about the, well, these are firstborn. Like the old ones that have a smaller base. So like the new Space Marines are taller and have a larger base. which is kind of annoying because it's like they allow you to still use firstborns to play as them, but you have to rebase them because the basis size is different. It's like, it's lame. Like, spend all this time and money years ago, and they're like trying to phase them out. I was like annoyed when I realized that, but also like, that's kind of cool because the new figures just look so much cooler than the old ones. Please tapping. So. I'm gonna be painting new ones. I still have a bunch of old ones, but I didn't want to like be building and painting my old army that I still have like figures left of to put together. I didn't want to spend time doing that if I had like if they're not really supported anymore. So what I told myself, see whether it happens, is like I'm gonna build this new army with all the new figures and eventually have a big enough army of Space Marines that I'll then decide to go back and assemble those old ones and paint them up and stuff just to have them. I tell myself, but realistically I'll just probably continue building more of the new stuff. Nah. I'd already started doing this layer of basing. And if I stopped now, I'd come back another day and be like, oh crap, what was I doing? So I want to finish this green layer on the bases before I stop, which will only be a couple more minutes. We only got this in the Ripper squad left. I don't recall if I'd ever asked where you're from, Soto. If you're comfortable sharing that. Some people don't like sharing any personal information. Oh, okay. Very cool. For some reason, because of the hours you were on and stuff, I had assumed you were in Europe. Me too. It kind of helps that I'm self-employed, so I kind of make my own hours. To some extent. Sometimes customers are like, I really need you here at 7 a.m. Like, ugh. Okay. It seems pretty common for the folks that are up on the really late streams. They just hop on because they're having trouble sleeping anyway, so they go in and hang out in late streams. I definitely do not have that problem. I'm just kind of a night owl in general. All right. Got a couple layers on the bases of them. Making good progress. Not sure how I got this on there. Clean that up. Yeah, I definitely would not want that problem. I do have sleep apnea, but that's more of a problem while sleeping. People have been amazed that spend time with me if they see me fall asleep, because I put my head down and I'm out in like seconds. Cool. Well, there is our 10 termagants and the Ripper Squad from the Space Marine 2 game. It came with Mr. Lieutenant Titus. Yeah, I'm pretty excited to see how they turn out once I get the highlights on. I think they'll look pretty dope. That'll probably be the most time-consuming part for me, because I'll just be real meticulous on the highlights and then constantly find little parts that I want to touch up on each of them. So probably all of next week, I'm thinking, at least. My desire is to have them done by Christmas so that I can move into the Space Marine Army. I've got a lot of figures to paint for this coming year. I'm excited to spend the year streaming and painting them all, because I've got the starter set that has all the Space Marines and all the Tyranids from the starter set, and then I've got a battle combat patrol for both Tyranids and Space Marines. I've got jump pack intercessors for Space Marines. I've got the Space Hulk board game with all those figures to paint, Hero Quest, and all the expansions. So a lot of figures to paint for that this coming year. And that's my plan for 2025, spending the year streaming and painting all those figures. Thanks, everybody that was hanging out with me tonight. It's always a pleasure. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend, and I will be back Monday on my schedule. I might stream a little bit over the weekend, just playing some computer games and stuff, but if not, I'll be back Monday. I hope you all have a great weekend. Take care.
At my day tonight, a story, wife and daughters, all his glory, hope the reach and hit the flame. Gamers cheer as he engages, leaving likes on all his pages. Spoon handle saves the day and night. Painting minifig so bright. Gaming online in the glow. Family love just steals the show. Office hours fixing screens, building dreams on movie scenes.
Take enough of that.
Comes the night he sets
Night.
the stage.
You'll wake up
Board
sometime in
games open
January.
endless page. In the spotlight he does stand, brush in hand and gamers band. Daughters smile, wife's proud too. Mini figures painted blue.